We go to Russia. Um, and by Russia, we get to give a look at art and propaganda. As you know, for much of Russia's history, it was a communist state, part of the Soviet Union, and even today it's an authoritarian state. So, for much of its history, the government was very much involved with filmmaking, and even today they continue to fund a lot of their films. So, through a lot of its history, their films were very propagandistic, very much in line with the communist ideals of the state. But at the same time, some of these films were really artistically powerful and had a huge impact on the international film scene. And this opens up kind of an interesting phenomenon of international cinema, and that is the prestige that it brings. Yesterday we watched some films from India, and it's interesting that even though India has this very robust film industry that's very popular in India and around the world, the government and the society people of India sort of herald Pather Panchali and those kinds of films as the art, the culturally important works of their nation. In Russia, even though under a communist authoritarian rule, also wants some of this international prestige of creating art. So today we see a couple of films that are very much propagandistic. They very much push communist message. The first is Battleship Potemkin, which is a historic piece that tells of a mutiny on a ship as part of the revolution that led to communist Russia overthrowing the elites for the common person. And it's a very, very important, powerful film in the history of cinema. A lot of use of montage, that is the juxtaposition of kind of different images in the editing of the film to come at, to arrive at something a little bit more meaningful. And also really plays on empathy. Human empathy appeals to your emotions a lot as you get into the story of the people who are struggling for revolution and the hardships that they're overcoming to get there. Very famous scene in there of a massacre on the steps of Odessa, where the camera is going down these amazing steps, these dramatic steps, and crowds are being chased by the army and that sort of thing. But at its root is a communist message. This idea of the wealth of all should be shared by all, and the elites and the rich who suppress the poor need to be overthrown and their wealth taken from them and distributed. The second is a short film. Incidentally, that first film is by a director named Sergei Eisenstein, who's really credited with revolutionizing editing, film editing, and using the montage as a technique of art and expression. The second film we're going to watch is a short film by another famous Russian director named Andrei Tarkovsky. This is a short film from early in his career. And it tells a simple communist story of this artistic violin playing boy who's kind of a privileged and elite in society, and a hardworking blue collar man who drives a steamroller. And it sort of shows how they're both equal and important in the state. Very communist message, but as you see it, I think you'll see, as you watch it, you'll see some incredible, beautiful cinema. There's a great scene with toys that's very colorful and kaleidoscopic, and it's really a joy to watch. So for your prompt, when you after you watch these films and you reflect on them in your writing or you're talking, I want you to think about whether these work more as art or propaganda, or if it's a mix of both. And I also want you to think about what it says about the human experience that a totalitarian regime would make films like this, or really films at all, if it's a totalitarian regime. So enjoy. I hope you enjoy these films. I look forward to reading your responses, and we will see you again tomorrow.